Be sure when you buy your chain that you measure your chain width, because this is a inch and a third width chain, and most of them you'll see are inch and a quarters, and some of the Fords usually vary a very narrow chain. So be careful when you're buying your chain that you get the right width. And then we're gonna just try to ease this son of a gun on up there. Just like this. Shit. Oh damn. I didn't quite go like I wanted to. I thought it went. Son of a bitch. Pick this up with the hair. Oh, ain't this son of a gun going? There it went. There it went. And that's on. We'll stick this back on there. And it just seated. And the chain is on, guys. The chain is on. Alright, now we've got a big washer that goes on this part. I'm going to put a little grease on it just to be sure it's, I don't think it really rotates or anything, but it's better safe than sorry, I guess. And of course I want to make sure this chain's good and oiled up before we do anything with it. Alright, so the next would be to put our oil pump drive gear back on. As such. And I believe the oil pump is what actually rides on this right here. Alright, now we've got to start putting our pieces on here. And the first thing we've got is a small thrust washer that we'll lube up a little bit. So the first, and that's going to fit all the way down onto that gear. And then we've got a thrust bearing that I'm going to grease up real lightly. Just going to go on top of that. And actually, yeah, that's good. And now these actual, I think what these others are, we've got another thin, or do we? We have one. We've got some different thickness. These are the same thickness, by the way, these big washers. I think this is for your end play, to take the end play out. So let's see if this new one, I believe this new one will fit on there. Will it? No, I mean it. I don't know what, that must go to a different model. Alright. And so we would use these thicker washers to take out the end play in this. And we won't know what the end play is until we put the case on, because the case bearing is going to go right there. Alright, so I just installed the oil pump thing here over the top of the drive here. And only the other things we got is the speedometer gear What I'm going to do is I'm going to dry fit this case together. I'm going to check the end play on that output gear right there. Alright. Another thing we need to do is install our spring and our retainer. Like that. And we'll go get our case and set it down on top. Alright, so we have to be real careful to get this spring to go in the right way. Can you see everything? Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this. Oh, damn. Didn't mean to take that with it. I'm going to pull that off right now because it's just going to get in my way. I'm going to be checking that. Alright, so now we need to put some bolts in here and check the end play in this drive here. Alright, so now we will just tighten them down. We're just going to bolt it together. Let's see. Tighten bolts alternately and evenly to 23 foot-pounds or 31 Newton meters. 23 foot-pounds. You probably want to use an inch pound wrench. So you just multiply 23 by 12, and that'll get you in the inch pounds. And you will just go around evenly and alternately every other one until you got them all bolted together. But like I said, at this time I'm not going to put any bolts in here. I will put some bolts in just to keep them together until I get my Loctite. And then you can put your oil pump back on. Once you get your big case on, it'll just drop right there. And then you set your housing on the back of it. Let's look at it. Now, looking at the exploded parts diagram, there's supposed to be a lock ring in front of this washer, in front of this bearing, but I never did see a lock ring when I took this thing apart. And this bearing is pressed in pretty well. I don't think it's going to come out. So we will just slide this over. And get it lined up. And one thing you might have to do is help this oil pump through the holes here. Get the case lined up with the oil pump. There you go. I think no, that ain't how it is. Alright. That ain't how it is. Let's see. We're going to put our oil pump in here. Or oil pump housing, rather. This is basically your oil pump right here. Let me get you where you can see. And this thing should fit in here only one way. Make sure I got it turned the right way. It goes in this way. And it's going to just drop into these three tabs right here. So this part here is stationary. Basically this this little gear right here rotates and squeezes the oil between it, and it comes out. through the housing, I guess. It's the only thing I can think of, because there's really no other way of pumping oil through this thing. It's just basically a splash lubricating ring. And yeah, so that's how it does it. It splashes it. So once you do that, then you can just slide this whole assembly on. Make sure the vent's turned up. The vent's turned towards me. I'm on the upper side on the bearing. I can't tell if my oil pump's fell out. I don't think it has. Something's got me. I can't see. I see the oil pump, but the housing, I think, is still in there. Still seated in there, but I think what it is, it's a little of a tight fit. Just a little bit of a tight fit in here. And I believe once you overcome this tight fit, it should go. And there you go. Well, I say there you go. Actually, something actually pulled up on my case here. So let's see if we can get this thing back out. I don't know what was hitting, unless it's hitting on this. What I'm kind of worried about is why this piece here does not fit flush with the end of the shaft right here. Is this on the wrong way? I bet it is. Let's see. Yep. That is on the wrong way, and now we see that we are seating flush with that. This has got to slide down, so when you put this on, the flat part is up. The flat part is up, and the groove part is down, and it's going to seat itself in there. And then drop that in, and now the bearing won't bottom out against it. All right. So now we should have no issues bolting everything together. We'll put the oil pump housing back into the rear seal, or rear case, tail housing, and it should be just a matter of getting everything to drop in. I'm going to put a little bit of grease on this to hold it. Drop that back down, we'll hit the bearing hole maybe. There it is. I can't tell without a damn flashlight. And the other day I left my little flashlight burning. You know, I don't know if you've seen my other videos, you see this little flashlight. I was using it, and then I laid it down on the counter and I left it on for 2 days. So I left this thing on 2 days. The pump is still in the housing, so I'm thinking it just needs to be tapped down like we did earlier. I just feel like it's hitting in there. Now the pumps fell out. Now that may be a pain right there. I don't know why it really would though, but I got it where it needs to be. It's gonna fit in this groove right here. Like that. So why ain't it seating? It just ain't wanting to seat. I've got plenty of clearance between the bearing now. Unless the bearing needs to be drove back up in there a little bit further. Anyway, I think we'll figure this out when we get ready to glue it all together. We'll really take our time, and if that bearing needs to be tapped up in this housing a little bit more to get a little more clearance, we'll do it. But it looks like it's got the clearance it needs. Just by looking in here, it ain't right up on that speedometer drive sleeve, so I think basically it's just a matter of getting this case in. I believe it'll go. It just needs some bolts. So anyway guys, I'm gonna just go ahead and loosely bolt it together, and this will end our series on this transfer case rebuild. Sure hope y'all enjoyed it. It's been a process, and I'm still, like I said, I'm waiting on my Loctite 515 to come in to finish it. But today I've got this beautiful, it's going to be beautiful outside, 60 degrees after a while, and I've got a ton of stuff to do today. I want to get the motor and all put in this frame. I don't know if I'll get around to it because I still need to get a rear seal for that transmission. So we may not. I need to work on my dually. I got a fuel line leaking on it. I've got to get my parts truck from out at my other shop down here so I can get some parts off of it. And you know, got a ton of stuff to do. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe if you can.